Hello everybody and welcome back to Jake's RC Stuff. It's been a little while, but hopefully this new type of video might help break up the sort of long pauses I get where I struggle to get access to the workshop. So what this video is this is going to be post-commentary, so me recording this after the fact, but I've taken pictures and you might get the odd clips in future versions of this, and I'm going to commentate afterwards. At the minute the workshop's got a 3D printer going in, there's people going in and out of it, it's just a nightmare. So being able to do pictures, just quickly snap a picture of befores and afters and stuff like that means that I can bring videos to you when I might not be able to. And what are we doing today? Well, the SkySurfer that I ddid say was finished has got a few more things that we needed to do. Either things have gone wrong or have got broken, as you can see possibly by the picture in front of you, as well as other things that I thought afterwards I need to double check it and is right. So the first thing we did is you can see in that picture our little sort of bunny ears of HD antennas are a little bit sad looking. It's a bit hard to see in this picture, but there is actually like a bit of a sort of the corner is missing. Have I got a better picture of that? You can see actually where it has snapped off. So the model itself I don't think is necessarily the problem. It was just a bit of a crap print from the printer. Slightly different material or different roll of filament and some slightly different temperatures and stuff. The actual thing that got 3D printed out looked a lot better for the new one. That's the new one, for example. Yep, so we removed the old one from the model, screwed on the new one, and then we are all happy days. There we are. So, yeah. That was all ready to go, so that was number one fix. The second thing that we looked at doing, just because I almost pulled a cable out by accident, is I have actually stuck down the S-Bus decoder now, just a bit of double-sided tape. I've got some, like an inch wide, maybe slightly more, inch and a quarter wide, double-sided foam sticky tape that I bought specifically for putting in Naze flight controllers back in the day. So I used a bit of that, completely guessed the size and got it absolutely spot on. Take that down. Nothing particularly special with that. And the third thing I did was I went on the radio and I attempted to set up failsafe. Now, what I used to do on the pre-Radio Master models was failsafe used to be very simply hold positions except for throttle, which would be returned to zero, because the way that I look at it is basically whatever you're doing, you probably want it to carry on with. There's very odd occasions, I don't know, you're diving towards a nuclear reactor or whatever with the FPV plane, where you probably don't want it to carry on doing that if it loses signal. So if you're going in a straight line, hold in a straight line. All your trim and stuff would be roughly correct. If you're slightly climbing, if you're slightly descending, whatever. But shut the motor off. If you're going in a straight line, you're probably safe to carry on going in that straight line. If you're in a turn because you're near an object or a building or something that you shouldn't be near, carry on that turn is probably the safest thing to do. Also, if you're on the edge of range and you're turning around and you lose signal, probably the best thing to do is keep doing that left turn, and the chances are you'll get close enough to come back into signal. So that's the way I've always done it. Doesn't seem like you can be able to do that, but essentially what you have to do is set a position and then tap set, as you can see in the picture. So I just had it throttle off. Everything in the center. What I should have probably done is have the failsafe set to beep and do the lights. I haven't done that, but I can just do the switches and do it. No, the model has to, no, TX light, I can set the failsafe. Personally, I wish there was a way to do hold. Maybe they used to be able to do that on here, I can't remember, but yeah, on other radios, you can essentially set what each channel does. So you can have channel 3 to go to 0, or you can have it hold or do whatever. Easy UHF is the same, so it's not like it's much different from Crossfire, but maybe it was the Free Sky long range system, whatever that was called, that could do that, R9. Maybe you can do that in ELRS, but I don't have ELRS because I'm happy with TBS Crossfire, to be brutally honest with you. Yeah, there's nothing that I've seen. If anything, it looks like a pain, like that weird Channel 5 can only do 1 or 2 things. It can't do a full range of motion, but anyway, I digress. Next thing I did was have a look at the goggles, and I had another fight with the goggles of trying to get them to not steam up. One thing that kind of concerns me, now I've not had this problem before with other types of goggles. I've had the V1400 goggles, whatever, the ones that were red at the front, the very first sort of FPV goggles that people had that took a Nokia phone battery and didn't have any type of transmit or receive built in. And I've had box goggles, I've had the Fat Shock Dominators HDOs and Dominator 2s or 3s, can't remember which one they were. Never had an issue with steaming up, and even with the Dominators, I put them on, they did steam up. I could tap the button to turn the fan on, and it would demist itself very quickly, sort of 20 seconds. These I can leave them on, they'll just never demist. And the problem is when you're flying a model, without a flight controller, it's very easy. You can have it stabilised or auto circle or whatever. But when you're flying something by the seat of your pants, the old goggles used to be able to sort of have it at a point, you're looking, and just slide them off your forehead down. They'd be fine. Dominators were fine. I have reduced how tight the strap is, and that does seem to have helped. We'll see how we get on, but it was a bit of a problem. Also did get the screen sort of half working, not 100%, but good enough. For the first few flights, I have decided to just max everything out and see how we go. So it's 1080p, it's high bit rate, it's high refresh rate. We'll see how it goes for the first few flights. Luckily enough, it's easier to change. Another thing I did was check the power on the goggles and made sure it was a sensible level, as well as making sure that the power level was fine. I've also made sure that standby mode is off. It was off, but when you have a flight control to flick it into high power mode, you could have a problem if it's stuck at barely any watts. And I do have a way of unplugging it so that it's not plugged in all the time, getting too hot. Last but not least, certainly not least by the time it took me 3.5 hours to fix, was the stickers. The stickers were peeling off. I have got some pictures, but they're a bit hard to see. On the wings, really, not on the fuselage, but on the wings, where the sticker goes into the wingtips, was lifting. We put some tape on the ones at the back, but it was lifting at the front, which is a nightmare, because obviously if that happens in flight and disrupts the wing, you're into a stall territory. So yeah, we don't want to do that. So I had to decide what to do. Essentially, I had 3 options. There's a fourth, which was paint the plane instead, but I'm not doing that. So the 3 that I had that were realistic of me actually doing was just remove them, get rid. There was to tape the leading edge as well as the front, or there was to laminate it. Now, if you've not seen laminating before, Rag the Nuts Off, Matt over there used to do it on all of his models, and that's where I got into it from. Essentially, you buy the rolls for industrial laminators, so not like the A4 pouches that you'd see on a normal paper laminator. What these are 2 rolls. One roll would go for the underside of your bit of paper, other roll would go on the top, and you'd buy, say, I don't know, 50 metres of it maybe. But what we do is we get those 2 rolls, we use them separately, so you actually get 100 metres, and you iron it on with a sealing iron. So as you can see, that's me about ready to go with one of the wings. So you've got the roll of stuff, that's one of the rolls. Again, you get 2 rolls, got the cutting mat, a new knife in the scalpel, some different rulers, and I'd got the Prolux heat sealing iron turned on and heating up at that point. So yeah, I decided that we'll go ahead and we would look at laminating it, and it wasn't my absolute best job, but it was a lot better than we said. Again, if I had removed them, it would just look very boring. I don't have any way at the moment to make new stickers, and the tape would have just tape would have just carried on. So just laminate the whole thing, and it would have look a lot better and add some extra sort of structure to it. If you do want like full videos of me doing laminating, I did it on my mini drac, so you can check the mini drac series for, just search for laminating, and you can see me working on that. So I did one wing, I then did the other wing. As I say, wasn't perfect, but I think, this is me showing it in the light to you to try to show you all the ridiculous and stuff. It's not perfect, but it's a hell of a lot better than what I could have done painting or with tape, or if we did nothing or whatever. I still think it's the best option. The other wing sort of shows you best. You can see that big air bubble in it. You can see the front edge. And yeah, I'm not sure if that's better or worse, to be honest with that one. But again, I still think that was the best option to do. I could have just been better at it. Oh yeah, it's not the best. Never mind. I also did the tailplane, which was a lot better again, because it doesn't have the bend up at the wings. It was a lot easier to do, as well as the vertical fin. That's all done. So that antenna is now in with tape and sticker and laminate. So yeah, that receiver is definitely not coming out of there without a lot of work. And so yeah, laminated that, looks a lot better. That is now more or less 100% ready to go, other than if I want to do that fail-safe thing again in with the lights and the beeps. But again, these are the kind of videos I can do when I have like just some random spare time, you know, I'm not setting up a camera, I'm not setting up microphones now, I've got them, nothing like that. Just snap pictures. I've done a bit of work on something that otherwise would have been sat here and not done and probably rushed with tape if I'd have not sort of set the 3.5 hours it took, more or less, to do that. So laminating is not easy. Again, flat stuff like the tails, it was fine. The hardest bit with them was the fact it was on the fuselage. If I'd have thought about this before and done the laminating when they weren't glued on, a hell of a lot easier. But yeah, probably won't laminate the next one, because the next one will be the T1 VTOL, and to be honest, that's that kind of tough foam, so probably not. I don't think I'll be putting any stickers on it either. But yes, so that is just an update of what's going on. Apologies, I will try and not leave things for such a long amount of time again. I get the fun of trying to edit this into something half sensible, because I've made a few mistakes during this recording that hopefully you won't know about. But yes, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed, click the like button. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see some more. They are usually actually videos, not just pictures with audio over the top. And if you have any constructive questions or feedback or anything like that, there's a comment section for that as well. So I'll see you in the next one. Thank you very much. Bye bye.